Hello knitting community, how are you doing today? I'm doing good. I'm Suzanne from Pacific Knits, and this is my channel where I talk about yarn, knitting, crocheting, and today I'm gonna be doing my first ever knitting podcast. I'll follow the basic time frame where I'll go through my finished objects, my WIPs, my works in progress, and my yarn acquisitions. We have, as this is my first podcast ever, we have quite a bit of knitting to go through today. I am not a fast knitter whatsoever. This is what I knitted, almost all I knit in 2025. So that's why I have like 4 finished objects and 3 WIPs to go through today, but we might have way less knitting to talk about in the future podcasts, as this is such a long time coming. Like, I knit this all the way from like April to, we're in August now, so from April to August. And yeah, I'm excited to show you guys what I knit in these past few months. I first want to talk about the fact that these are my first like wearable knitwear that I've ever knit, because I started knitting in 2024 and I didn't really understand gauge, and I did a few mistakes that I'm going to talk about. I'm still learning about knitting, but these garments are wearable. Like, they fit me, they don't have too many mistakes, and yeah, so I'm really excited to share with you guys my first ever wearable garments. So we'll start off with the first finished object in like timeline. So I knitted the camisole by Mochi knits, I think. I bought the yarn in April on my trip to Montreal. I went to Knit City, Montreal. So as I said about gauge and mistakes and stuff, I think if I remember correctly, the camisole requires DK weight yarn, and I knit this with Koigu Painter's Palette Premium Merino from Koigu, which is a fingering weight yarn. So I didn't know, like, it wasn't, I knew about yarn weight, but in my head, going to the Knit City Montreal, I was looking for a fingering weight yarn for my camisole. So I bought this yarn for the camisole, and I was convinced that you required fingering weight yarn, but no, I just checked and it really requires DK weight yarn, and I used fingering weight yarn, but it's still like, it's not holy, it's not see-through, so it's great. I don't know if I used the required knitting needles size. It required 3.5 and I used 3.75, so I don't know what that means in terms of like using a smaller size yarn with a bigger size needle in terms of gauge, but I think that meant like it's a more like flowy gauge, and it almost makes it that I hit gauge because I used bigger needles, right? I don't know, but yeah, I knit this in 3 weeks. I like to knit multiple WIPs at the same time, so I was knitting this while also knitting other stuff, but this was my main project ongoing while I was knitting this, because I really wanted it to be done, because as you'll see, I also knit a sweater, so this was more, how do you say, like urgent, because I needed it for the summer. So I knit this in first, how do you say it? like priority. This was my priority. So I'll let you see the yarn detail because I absolutely love it. And that's what I was doing earlier. I tried to undo the ties, but I tied it so tight that I can't undo it now. But that's what my topsole looks like. And yeah, I'm pretty happy about it, but I didn't wear it much. I wore it once, and since I have like quite the boobies, I don't wear it much because it's really like, you know, it hits great on my body, except that it's really like this keeps opening up because of my breast, and I feel really exposed when I'm wearing this, so I haven't worn it much because of that. This isn't a top that I would wear for a family gathering, but I like the fact that it's open so you can wear it over a sweater or like a turtleneck or just a long sleeve shirt. So I'm gonna try it on right now. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is like when I don't wear a top underneath, you can just see really what's going on. Not my breast per se, but like, you know, the crackety, you can see it. So yeah, I love it, but I'm waiting for fall or winter to be able to wear something underneath so it's more appropriate. With my yarn left over from the topsole, I knitted the rose cotton headband from Bodil Madsen, which is this headband with lace detail. I love lace. Like, can you see? No, you really can't tell. Now I think you can see the lace detail. But I think that's such a cute way to use leftover yarn, because then you can wear your headband with your matching top. I knit this with 3mm needles, and it took me like 2 days to knit it because I was knitting on this with my free time, on my free time. But it's a really quick knit if you want to use leftover yarn. I think that's a really appropriate project. It's interesting because you have this border, you won't see it, and you also have the lace pattern to follow, so it keeps you entertained and it gives you a cute accessory to match with your knitwear. That's my rose cotton headband in also the Koigu yarn, Koigu Painter's Palette Premium Merino. They call it KPPPM. This used like not even 50 meters of yarn. This is a great stash buster because I keep seeing people knitting these like sweater with so-called stash yarn, but when I have like leftover yarn, I never have like 3 balls of leftover yarn, you know. I have like these small ball of yarns, and this is what I call leftover yarn, you know. So that's a great stash buster personally for me, because I don't really buy too much yarn for a project. Like, I look at the meters required, and that's the meterage that I'm gonna buy. I'm not gonna buy over that because I like to crop my knits, and I know I'm never gonna use more meterage than what they call for. So that's why I never end up having like lots of leftover yarn. Next, it took me 3 months. Yeah, 3 months to knit this Lily top by Mochi Knits. Wait, was this by Mochi Knits too? Yeah, okay. I knit 2 Mochi Knits patterns. And this took me so long to knit because it was knitted flat, and I hate purling, and we have a lot to talk about with this pattern. My tension is not the same with knitting and purling. My knitting tension is really tight, and my purling tension is so loose, so you can tell like which row was knit and which row was purl. But I'm gonna show it to you. First, I knit this in Rowan Mako Cotton Baby in Lemon Crush. I used 3.5 skeins or 350 meters to knit it, and it's discontinued. So if you have some Rowan Mako Cotton Baby, this is a great pattern for it, because it's really like drapey, flowy, breathable. But if you don't have it, then you can't really buy it now. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about, my tension, which is so clearly not the same for knitting and purling. And also, this is a special project because this project was knit meanwhile I was learning how to knit, but without twisting your knit. I kept seeing TikToks about like, oh, I just learned that I was twisting my stitches, and I was like, how do you twist your stitches? Like, that's such a dumb thing to do. I'm a new knitter and never I would twist my stitches. And then I saw so many TikToks that I looked up how to not twist your stitches and realized I was twisting my stitches. So halfway through this project, I learned how to not twist my stitches. Right here you can see the front part is with twisted stitches and the bottom part is with normal regular stitches. It's just a way to wrap around the yarn when you're purling and knitting. It's really simple, but it makes a difference. It looks way more polished, and you know, it looks like stitches when you're not twisting them. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but yeah, I learned halfway through how to knit and purl. Yeah, you can tell the difference, I think. Yeah, you can definitely tell. And in the back, it's an open back with I-cord straps to knit it, to tie it in the back, and you have an open back with a 1x1 ribbing detail at the neck and armholes. I love the top. I would knit it again. The only thing is this color is not it for me. I bought this yarn because it was on sale, and I bought it not knowing what to do with it, and I knit this top because it was the same yarn weight. Like, I looked for a pattern to use my Rowan Mako Cotton Baby, and this top was in the was matching my criteria, so I knit it, and I was like, oh, that's cotton, that's a summer knit, that's perfect. But I didn't really think about my yarn whatsoever, because that's not really, like, I love yellow. You'll see I have another whip with yellow, but this is really like, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but this is like almost green yellow. No, I think it looks way better on camera. This color that you're seeing I kind of like, but it's almost like green highlighter from here. It's, I don't know, I don't really like the color. I didn't wear it yet because I finished it the day before yesterday, on July 30, so I didn't wear it yet, and I still have to block it and weave in my ends, but it looks great, you know. It looks modest, and yeah, I like it. I just didn't weave in my ends and didn't have an opportunity to wear it, but I'm going on a trip in 2 weeks and I'll bring it for sure. So that's my Lily top. I knit a size medium, and I use 6mm needles and switched to 5mm needles for the ribbing details. There was no ribbing detail at the bottom, I think. Yeah, no, you just cast off normally and it rolls up because it's stuck in it. And I wish I had knit a ribbing bottom, and I consider going back and doing a ribbing bottom so it doesn't roll up. And I have some yarn left over, so I might just do that. But that's my lily top. We're already on to my last finished object, which is a sweater that took me 2 weeks to knit. I was really focusing on this sweater. I think that's a quick knit, right? Like 2 weeks for a sweater, I think that's quick. For me at least, that's quick. So I bought yarn to knit. Like, I bought the yarn with a knit in mind, and while I was shopping I was like, I don't want to buy patterns. I want to knit from patterns I already have or from books that I already have. And I got the Knitting for Olive book for my birthday, and I really wanted to like use the patterns and books I already had, so I decided to use to knit the Nature Lace sweater, which is this sweater right here. And I did. It took me 2 weeks to knit it. It's a all over lace pattern, which is really entertaining. I knitted with Cascade yarn, Cascade 220, in the color charcoal gray, because I wanted a neutral color for this, you know, because it's all over lace and you can wear white or black or a color even underneath. So I really wanted to use a neutral color to be able to wear this as much as possible. And yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself. Knitting lace for me means frogging a bit, because I'll make mistakes, and I didn't really make that much mistakes. I have a few mistakes that you can see, but you know, that's part of knitting and wearing stuff that you made yourself. I knit a size 2 on 5mm needles. I switched to 4mm needles for all the ribbing parts, so for the neckline, for the sleeves, but I did not switch for the bottom ribbing because I didn't want it to be you know, like I wanted it to be flowy and not so tight, so I didn't switch for the bottom edge. But I don't think she does neither. I think you knit the bottom ribbing with 5mm needles and all the other ribbings with 4mm needles. So for this whole project I used 3 whole skeins, and I have this much left over from the 4th skein, so I don't know how much yard or meters I use in total, but almost like 700 meters approximately. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with this knit. As you can see, I casted this off yesterday, so I still haven't weaved in my ends, I still haven't blocked it, and I still haven't worn it, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I really like this color. That's way lighter than what it is in real life, right? That's the real color. When I put it like that, it becomes way lighter than it is in real life. But yeah, I'm really happy about it, and I don't know what else to say. I think I said everything about it, except that I speak French, right? So maybe that's on my part, but some parts of the pattern weren't that clear to understand. She didn't mention which way to pick up the shoulder stitches, so I did. For the left shoulder, I went from the right, it's like this, so I went from left to right, and for the right I went from right to left, and that ended up working, and that was what you were supposed to say. But she just didn't mention it at all, which is like, it's not that deep, like it's it's not the end of the world, but it's just some math that you have to do by yourself. Maybe it's always that way and I just don't know it because I'm not that used to knitting. But I just think that if she wanted it to be beginner friendly, then she should have mentioned it. Or they, I don't know who's knitting for Olive, but the company should have mentioned it in the book. And also they say work the pattern, repeat 8 to 10 times. And for me that was really mind-boggling, because I was like, okay, do I work like this portion 8 to 10 times, or do I work this, like, do I work the chart 8 times all around, or do I work all the chart 8 to 10 times? And she meant like in each row you'll just work the repeat part 8 to 10 times, but don't work all the chart and 8 to 10 times. But she just said work the pattern, repeat 8 to 10 times. And that really bugged me, because I was like, okay, do I work the pattern repeat, or do I just work the rows repeat? Like, even explaining it, I get confused. But that was a confusing part for me. But other than that, it was quite easy to follow, and I love the finished product. That was really not English. If you understood what I said, really hats off, because even I don't know if that'll make it through the editing. But that's my nature lace sweater, and I'm so happy about it, and I'm so happy that I finished it by now. I casted it on June. Wait, no, it took me more than 2 weeks. It took me a month and a half, because I thought that was July 20th, but no, I started it June 20th 2025, and I completed it on August 1st, which was yesterday. So I casted it on for my trip to an island in my province, and it's Les Îles de la Madeleine, which is in the middle of the ocean. So it gets quite cold because I'm in Canada, so it's not a Caribbean island or a hot island. It's like, you know, it's in the ocean, so it's not cold in the winter, but it's also not hot in the summer. So that's perfect for putting over a tank top if it gets cold. So I'm really happy about it, and now I have to block it and wear it. Now for the work in progress section, I have 3 whips that I want to talk about, and one that is almost done. I'm gonna show it to you first, and well, 2 that are almost done, and one that I started this week, and it's crocheted. So I'm gonna start off with my square neck camisole, which is really a simple basic camisole. I use this lovely yellow yarn. So as you see, I love yellow, but this is way more like a fitting yellow, you know. It's almost like, it's really more yellow in person. It looks almost gray or beige in the camera, but it's really yellow in person. It's a hand-dyed yarn from here, from Quebec. It's Entre Sœurs Hélène, which is 65% silk and 35% linen, which makes it a great summer yarn. I have this left over, and I need to do the double knitting on the neckline and on the armholes. So it's almost done. I want it to be done by 2 weeks when I leave for the island, and I think that's doable, right? I only have to do the double knitting, and it will be my first time doing double knitting. As of right now, I have no clue what's double knitting. I'm gonna find out when I do it, but I'm really excited for it to be done. And I don't know if it's because of the, you know, the ribbing or what, but it's really see-through when I put it on, so I'm gonna have to wear a bra underneath. I hope the double knitting is quite tight, thick, so I can wear it without, you know, my straps showing off. But it's, you know, I think you can knit it as thick or thin as you like. This is a fingering weight yarn, and I knit it with 3.25mm needles. You needed to knit it on 3mm needles, but my 3mm needles were used for something else, so I just used my 3.25mm needles, and I think, you know, it's great. I don't know if I hit gauge. I don't do gauge swatch, so I have no clue if I'm hitting gauge, but it fits me, so I'm happy about it. I knit the size medium, and I'm happy with what I knit so far. I didn't knit it as long as she recommends, but I'm gonna wear this with high-waisted pants, so if it's too long I'm gonna tuck it in, and I didn't want to tuck in too much material or fabric, so I cropped it, and right now it's hitting in the right places. I did the waist decreases. I don't like maybe it's my fault, but I don't like how the decrease part looks, but it's under my arm, so you won't be able to tell it, but I just don't like how it looks. But maybe it's on my part too. You have to remember that I'm a new knitter, a beginner, so it might be my fault. Now I'm gonna talk about my mesh sweater by Suzanne Muller. Sorry if I mess up your name. I'm almost done with this also. I just lost 2 chicken yarn, but like by a sleeve and a half. I didn't order the yarn yet because I used the color that I can't find. It's the 19 uni beige, but I can only find the 24 beige something on every website I look on, every yarn shop I go to, so I still have to find the yarn. I hope I do. But right now the body is done. I still have to do the ribbing on the neckline, and the first sleeve is halfway through. No, maybe more than halfway through, and I still have to do the ribbing here, and I have to do the other sleeve right here. The ribbing edge at the bottom is done, and yeah, so I'm pretty far on this sweater. I casted it on in May, and it's been waiting for more yarn for forever. It was a quick knit, you know, it's worsted, or it's bulky weight yarn, so it's a quick knit if you have enough yarn. I use Drops Big Merino. Wait, is it color 24? It's color 24. Whatever, I thought I was using the color 19, so I'll see what I can do about the yarn. If I can find it, I think it will be easier. I don't know, I'm so confused. I thought I used the 19. Whatever, now maybe I can find yarn to finish it. I used 4.5mm needles, and yeah, it fits me great. I've tried it on. Obviously it's not blocked because I haven't finished it yet, and I don't have much to say about this. It's a pretty forward pattern, you know, the lace pattern is really easy to follow. It's intuitive. It's only yarn over and decreases, and I'm really excited for it to be done. I think I used Aran weight yarn when this is supposed to be bulky weight yarn, but this resulted in the holes being really small. I wish it was bigger, because then it would have been more summer approved and more meshy, but now it's really like, it's still see-through, it's still you know, mesh, but I wish the holes were bigger. But I think that's on my part, because when I look at her, they're not that big, but they're bigger than mine. So I wish I had bigger holes in my sweater, but I'm still really happy about it, and the yarn feels so squishy and I love it. So I'm really excited to buy more yarn to finish this, and that's the first thing I'm gonna do when this video is over. I'm gonna see if I can order more yarn for it. I really hope I do, and maybe I'll just order whatever color is close to it and just have, you know, a 2-colored sweater. I don't care. I'm not that perfectionist. So that was it for my knit items. Now I'm gonna talk about my crochet project that I have ongoing, because I wanted to use my leftover yarn from my Lily top, and I didn't want it to be a wearable garment because I have one greenish yellow neon garment. I don't need two, so I wanted to knit either an accessory or decor, and that's what I ended up choosing on. I'll let you guess what I'm crocheting. Can you, like, my boyfriend with just this, he knew what I was knitting. I was like, oh, guess it, and when you guess it right, I'll tell you what it is, but until you guess it right, I won't tell you what it is. And he guessed it right, so drop your guess in the comment. That's a balloon dog. It's a free pattern on Ravelry by Gloria B, and I'm using a 5mm needle hook, and I have a lot of polyester filling left over from when I was crocheting amigurumis, so that's what I'm using to fill it. I filled it pretty tightly because I want it to be like a decor I can use around in my apartment. And yeah, I have 2 parts of the body done. It's really like you crochet a long tube and then you like tie it as a clown would do with a balloon. It's just you crochet a long tube with these smaller parts so you can wrap it around and it looks like it was, you know, folded like a balloon. And as I said, I'm using a Rowan Mako Cotton Baby yarn in Lemon Crush color. So that's it. I don't have much to say about this pattern. I really just started it, and you know, it's just to get to use up my scrap yarn. And now for my acquisitions. I have quite a lot of yarn acquisitions. The first yarn that I bought is the Sandnes Garn Thin Line in the color 6032. I bought this for, I had a project in mind for this yarn, but I can't remember what it was. It was a gift for my boyfriend's mom, but yeah, I don't remember what it was. But I liked the color, so I bought it, and when I got home I realized that I either didn't have enough meterage for it or it wasn't the right composition, whatever. I just couldn't use this yarn for the project I had in mind. So I found a new top, a new pattern that I really want to use this yarn to knit. I think it would be perfect. It's the, let me find it. It's the Groovy Tank by Emma Jagger, and it's this rib tank top. I know, I just finished one and I would cast on a new one with like almost like a corset top. Like I like the increases or decrease on the breast. It looked really chic and put together, so I think that's what I'm gonna use this yarn for. but I still haven't chosen, and I don't have the right needles to knit this because it's knit on like 2.25 millimeter needles, and I don't have that small needles. And next I bought this Drops Melody in the color 9. I think it's like sage green or something like that. It's this fluffy bulky yarn with 71% alpaca and 25% wool and 4% polyamide. You have 140 meters by skein, and I bought a sweater quantity. I want to knit either the Aryan sweater or no, that's what I bought it for, the Aryan sweater, but I keep finding sweaters that I could knit with this, and I still haven't chosen if I'm gonna cast on the Aryan sweater or another sweater. But yeah, I don't know yet what I'm gonna do with this. I like the color online, but it's really more bluish grayish in person. I thought it would be more sagey green, but it's more blue, but it's really fluffy and the color is still nice, so I'm excited to cast on something with this yarn. And finally, my last acquisition was this Drops Charisma yarn. It's so full of fluff from the Drops Melody, but yeah, it's this Drops Charisma in color 17, and it's I don't know, yarn group B, so it's a DK or worsted weight yarn, and I'm gonna use this to make the color accent on my sweater. I don't remember how it's called, but it's from the book Arctic Knits, and I have the Drops Charisma in white to do the main color, and this is gonna be, I think it's the Glacier sweater or the, yeah, something like that, but this is gonna be my color work, and the white is gonna be the main body part. And I'm super excited to cast this on. Also, I don't know, like right now I need to cast something on. I have these, you know, my whips. I can't really work on them because this top, I just find it so not, like, I don't find any motivation in working the neckline and the armhole. The whole body is done, so I'm trying to convince myself to work on this because then it's gonna be done, and then my other whip, my mesh sweater, I don't have yarn enough to keep going, so it's bending, and I like to have many whips going on. So right now I'm trying to find something to cast on because I really miss knitting. Like, it's only been a day since I've knit because I finished my nature lace sweater yesterday, but I'm already like missing knitting, so I have yet to find the perfect cast on. If you have any recommendations, any pattern you've been liking to knit recently, you can comment down your recommendations or what you're working on. Maybe it's gonna give me inspiration because I'm in deep need of knitting inspiration. I don't know what to cast on yet with my yarn. Like, I have around 900 meter of yarn that I received or bought, and I don't know what to knit with 900 meters. I don't want to knit a tee because I know I'm not gonna wear a tee, but is 900 meters enough for a sweater? That's what's going on in my mind right now. Like, what do I cast on? It's really bugging me. So if you have any recommendations, again, comment down below what you're working on or what pattern you're dreaming of casting on, so maybe I can find my next knit. And if you enjoyed my podcast, please feel free to subscribe and leave a thumbs up. I'll see you next time. Bye.